Chapter 6, Part 2. Rainbow laid on a cloud in her bed home, trying to read another book in the Daring Do series, but she just couldn't concentrate on it. She couldn't get out her mind off of what happened earlier. Wait, Rainbow Dash said, looking down at School in belief. You're saying Trixie was actually nice? School nodded. Yeah, she taught us some neat magic tricks. She was awesome. Not nearly as awesome as you, Rainbow Dash, but still pretty cool. Anyway, I'm supposed to meet the other cutie marker sayers, baseball players. See you later. Rainbow Dash threw the book across the room and let her head fall onto the cloud pillow. Not even Scootaloo likes her. Come on! Am I the only one that remembers she was a big bully? She exclaimed in frustration. She gave a sigh. Maybe Twilight's right. No, since when has any bad guy we've ever had to deal with done that? Next thing you know, they'll tell me Discord's become a good guy. Dash, don't watch Season 3. See what that's take, sitting on his little cloud bed, thanks to Twilight's cloud walking spell. I'm right, alright, Tank? The Taurus merely looked over at her, blinked. They caught his head, gave her a look. Okay, there was Princess Luna, but she had to get blasted full on with the elements of harmony to turn good. Dash held her head and fell back on her bed with a sigh. Whatever, I'll find out exactly what's really going on tomorrow. Night, Tank. Rainbow let herself fall into a restless slumber. Rainbow Dash, a blank flank filly back at flight school, sat backwards, stretching for her turn for a flight exam, taking a deep breath. Hey, you better watch out, every pony, announced the big pegasus colt. Rainbow Crash is up next. Yeah, everyone get your helmets on and take cover, another cried. Rainbow Dash gave a slightly hurt look, but hid it as she took her turn. She took flight when the colt blew his whistle, flying through the cloud rings floating here and there throughout the room. She's going to do it. Then she bent her wing the wrong way at the wrong time. Next thing she knew, she crash-landed hard on the clouds. When her head cleared for the class, she heard something. Everyone was laughing. Nice one, Rainbow Crash! Yeah, where you goes next move? Choking? You'll probably have your crash against your cutie mark for the way you're going. Somewhere, one random filly is like, Hey! Crashing's my cutie mark! Rainbow Dash looked up at the coach, who, while not laughing, didn't stop them from laughing. Nearly shook his head in disappointment. Rainbow Crash! Rainbow Crash! Chanted the bullies, circling her laughing. Stop it! Yelled Rainbow. Cover your ears. Don't call me that! What's wrong, loser? That's a familiar voice. Rainbow opened her eyes and looked up, finding herself on Trixie's stage in Ponyville. Now the crowd, even her friends were all laughing, shouting Rainbow Crash over and over again. Trixie chuckled. Trixie knew you were a loser. Rainbow Crash. Now it's time to show every pony else, she said, her horn glowing a dark violet, almost as black as she telekinetically lifted her bat off her head to begin. No, stop! No, stop, please. Don't laugh at me, muttered Rainbow, twisting and turning in her sleep, tears running from her clenched eyes. No, stay away! Stay back! In the reverse of the previous nights, Twilight was the one who found herself stirred in the morning by a mere screaming nightmares. Trixie? She asked, looking up. No, don't eat me! Cried Trixie in her sleep, hidden by the covers. Twilight heard up the ladder. Trixie, wake up! She called, nudging Trixie to the covers. Trixie shot awake, and Twilight's eyes went wide. Trixie, are you all right?
Yes, Trixie just had a nightmare, but I haven't had one since I was a filly.
Spike came up. What's the ruckus? He asked with a yawn. They looked at Trixie and nearly fell off the legs laughing.
What's so funny?
Twilight hovered a mirror over and followed it in front of Trixie, who found herself staring in the eyes of a blue-furred, white-maned unicorn filly, about the Cutie Marker Sayer's age.
Oh, look at you, Trixie, you're so... You say cute, adorable, or anything of the phrase, Trixie will have your head! while martial art user is currently resting inside the trash bin for calling Trixie cute, Trixie will have to handle the rest of this for a bit. Twilight groaned, shaking her head to clear it after the scream that Trixie let off. Trixie, calm down. It's okay. I'm sure there's a perfectly logical explanation for this. Trixie pouted like a child. Trixie doesn't like this. Twilight looked closer and gasped, seeing light blue spots all over Trixie, which had been difficult to see at her first glance, since she was so close to her natural fur color anyway. The boy's a joke! Well, this is a funny joke, yelled Trixie, like a child who had a mean prank pulled on her. Spike laughed. Of course it is. Now, what's a good nickname? He asked, thinking. Did nose Trixie go down while gently her expression? Trixie? He asked, seeing the little mare turn Philly, almost on the verge of tears. Come on, it's okay, I didn't mean it, he said, now feeling rotten. Twilight blinked in confusion. Yes, Trixie had feelings like anybody else, but she wasn't that sensitive. Oh, and don't worry, I'm back. And don't worry, folks, I'll get Trixie back for dropping me into the trash can later. Trixie wouldn't count on it! Don't worry, Trixie. I'll get you the antidote, which I forgot to get because you said you were immune. Trixie lowered her head sorrowfully. Trixie, sorry, she muttered, with genuine remorse, as if expecting punishment. Twilight gave a confused look to Spike and vice versa. Trixie had apologized? That wasn't even her fault? Okay, something was weird. Rainbow Dash's head dropped, her bloodshot eyes barely keeping open. Oh, Rainbow Dash, you okay? Asked Applejack, looking over to her friend. Rainbow Dash jumped to a full alertness. I'm fine! Everything's fine! Why wouldn't it be? She replied rapidly. Fluttershy looked the most concerned. Rainbow Dash, you look like you had a horrible night last night. No offense. You don't look horrible, you just look like you didn't sleep well. Rainbow Dash gave a big yawn. Yeah, I'm fine. Just had some bad dreams. Nothing I can't handle. She stared. Shaking her head to try to keep awake. Would you like to talk about it? Asked Fluttershy, looking her full friend over with worried eyes. No, I'm fine, said Rainbow Dash, trying to not look exhausted as he really was, or hurt Shy's feelings. Well, whatever it was, do try not to make this Applebuck season part 2. We wouldn't want that, would we? Asked Verity, putting her hand over her friend's shoulder as he prepared to help Granny Smith story apples. Oh, if he does, can I make funny noises into a trophy again? Asked Pinky, in a normally excitable manner, causing Verity to face off. Applejack cleared his throat. Ahem. I thought we all agreed not to bring that up again. Yeah. Wait, did you do the same thing with Trixie said about that Tom? Asked Pinky, scratching her head. Verity glared. I said we shall never speak of that embarrassing incident again! Duh, that's my point, silly! Pinky responded. Rainbow Dash sighed as the three got into an argument over who's the what said not to say when. Rainbow Dash, asked Fluttershy, put yourself so her and Rainbow's backs were to the others. Rainbow had a little more privacy. Are you sure you're alright? She asked, looking deeply worried. If you want to talk about it, I'll listen. Rainbow gave her old friend a smile. I'm fine. Thanks anyway, Fluttershy. Girls! And so I'm left standing here with a rubber chicken and... Oh, hey, Twilight! Pinky, was that a weird date you had with cheese? As the argument stopped and everyone's attention fell on the newly arriving Twilight and Spike. Hey, Twi, said Applejack, embarrassed at the little spat they had. Where's Trixie? Asked Rainbow Dash, spitting her name like it was found. Twi sighed. See for yourself, she said, trying to reveal Trixie, still a filly, riding on Twilight's back, much to everyone's shock. Oh, that isn't so adorable! Aw, she's so cute! yelled Pinkie Pie, dancing over and looking at Trixie, nearly causing the filly to fall off. But Twilight's back in surprise.
Alright, Twilight, what spell did you mess up this time? Asked Rainbow Dash, looking to her along with the others, except Pinkie, to get an explanation. Twilight growled, None. It turns out Trixie ran into some poison joke yesterday, and wasn't nearly as immune as people thought she was.
Rainbow Dash practically fell over laughing at this revelation. No one paid much mind to her. Who's a cute little filly? Trixie is, yes she is, said Pinkie, in a voice that was actually talking to a child. Trixie gave an annoyed growl. Even if Trixie wasn't old as she looked, that would still be the meaning.
The weird part is that it seems at least part of her personality has reverted too,
said Twilight, perplexed as she focused her attention on her friends, who actually seemed to care.
She has all her memories, but her personality seems to be like it was when she was just a filly,
she stated, looking at Ted concerned. So far, Trixie's full personality worried her a bit. She seemed so delicately, emotionally. Twilight couldn't help but feel concerned. Is that a fire wolf?
Koga! Lick her.
No, down, Koga, down!
Wildfire, druid people. Never leave home without it.
Tell your wolf to get out of Trixie!
Now, where were we? Tells you I get her back.
Twa?
I don't like a legal science, said Applejack, giving a confused look.
I know, but since when does poison joke make any sense?
Asked Twilight with a frustrated look. I'm starting to think Discord made it when he ruled Equestria. Maybe.
Serves her right,
said Rainbow Dash slowly, earning a staring glare from Twilight. She gave an annoying look and crossed her forelegs. Trixie whimpered, looking genuinely hurt by Rainbow's words.
Oh no, don't cry,
said Pinkie as she noticed this, then made funny faces to try to cheer her up.
Here, what's this?
She said, before pulling a bag of flour out of nowhere, or bursting it over to herself, turning it completely white. Despite trying to act as mature as she could, Trixie couldn't help but laughing at Pinkie's antics, prompting Pinkie to give a smile and a side glance to seemingly no one.
Works every time!
Trixie blinked, trying to follow Pinkie's gaze, but seeing no pony, then looking back to her.
You mean you're happy Trixie laughed at you? Silly, you weren't laughing at me. You were just laughing at the silly thing I did.
Trixie blinked.
Is it your friends? Pinkie nodded. Yeah, a really, really, really big one. Laughing at some pony is something it's really mean. I mean, really, really mean. Only a bully does that on purpose, or doesn't stop laughing when they know they're hurting them. Laughing when somebody does something funny is fun, but only if they can laugh along with you. I think it's funny too. Oh, and never be afraid to laugh at yourself too sometimes. Like this!
She said to pull down a mirror and let her reflection. Did she and her reflection look back at Trixie?
See?
Trixie chuckled.
Yes, Trixie guesses she does. Could you teach Trixie that trick? What trick?
Asked Pinkie, looking at her reflection while looking quickly confused.
Never mind.
So, what we're gonna do, Twi? She ain't gonna be much help as a filly, said Applejack, looking a little concerned as well. I reckon you don't want her staying that way for too long. I tried going to the spa, but he ran out of the poison joke cure this morning, said Twilight with a sigh. I'm going to have to go to Sakura's to run for it. Can she stay here while I do?
What? Why?
Asked Rainbow Dash rather bitterly. Twilight glared back at her. Because I don't think dragging a filly into the middle of that place, even if she's really a mare, is a bright idea. That's why. Don't worry, said Applejack. She's already chatting with Apple Bloom and the girls. They'll keep an eye on her, she said, then looked over. Apple Bloom, can you bring your friends over here? It's important. Keymarker stares with her in a flash.
Yes, sis?
Y'all keep an eye on Trixie while we're working? Asked Applejack, pointing to Trixie, who was now on the ground, trying and failing not to laugh as Pinky pulled balloons out of nowhere and made them into balloon animals, including a full-size balloon Trixie, which Trixie gave an approving nod to. The CMC did a collective jaw drop.
Whoa, what happened?
Asked Gulu, surprised. Poison joke, replied Twilight. I've got to run to Sakura's to get the cure so we can fix her up. Will you play with her till I get back? The three fillies nodded.
Sure! We had fun with Trixie yesterday. Now we're the same age. We'll have even more fun!
Announced Lee Bell. Twilight smiled. Glad to see the fillies had accepted Trixie as they had. She looked to Rainbow Dash. Will you please at least try to be nice to her? She asked pleadingly. Rainbow Dash gave a huff.
Fine! Well, let's keep her out of my mane.
What's good to her? Asked Spike. Noticing Rainbow seemed to be even more of a joke to Trixie now than ever before.
Twilight, I'll come with you,
said Fluttershy, walking over to her.
It's too dangerous to go to Everfree alone.
Twilight gave a smile in return. Thank you, Fluttershy. Come on, let's go.
So, you got turned into a feeling about Pillars of Joke?
Asked Apple Bloom, looking to Trixie. Then to Pinky, who somehow managed to put herself into a giant party balloon and was trying to get out. They realized how much fun bouncing around inside was. Trixie gave a childish pout.
Unfortunately, Trixie thought she was immune.
But you still remember everything? Asked Gulu, scratching her head with her hoof. Trixie nodded.
Yes, some of which suddenly seems much more traumatic,
she said, giving a shudder. Trixie guessed that was why she had nightmares, and her method of dealing with them hadn't worked. Well, actually, she was more too verified to remember at the time.
Well, when I get to our clubhouse, we can still hang out until Twilight gets back with the answer,
says the Sleep Bell excitedly. Trixie was confused.
What do you need Trixie to do?
She asked, looking confused. The three looked at each other confused.
Nothing. Are you ever been to a friend's house just to hang out?
Asked Apple Bloom. Looking at the mirror, turned Philly with a surprised look. Trixie shook her head.
No, Trixie's father didn't permit such things. The only time Trixie went with other fillies was when her father had business to do with theirs, and she had a project to do with them.
The three gave her a sympathetic look.
Well, you really missed out. Come on, we'll show you what you've been missing,
says Gulu, the three leading Trixie towards their clubhouse. Rainbow gave a suspicious look their way.
Maybe I should keep an eye on them,
she said, to no one in particular. No way, Rainbow, said Applejack, pulling her back. We got ample Saturn, Mike. Those girls ain't gonna get into any trouble just going to the clubhouse. Rainbow sighed.
Fine, let's just get to work,
she grumbled, crossing her forelegs in front of her chest. Pinky finally pressed the balloons he had somehow managed to get herself in, landing her back. Then she looked up at the situation in a huff.
Let's go to Rainbow Dash,
asked Pinky, as Applejack and Rainbow looked to a pink pony concerned. She may have been a little laggy, but she wasn't blind. I don't know, but I don't like it, said Applejack. I say honey bears are better moods than Slay is.
Yeah, Fluttershy hit that one. I have expected it to be Rainbow's pet, said Pinky.
What's more being sidetracked by the analogy? I think to get it all expended, eh? Rarity added in a deadpan fashion. Now come on, we've got plenty of work to do. Checker watched from the bushes nearby, giving a subtle, cruel smirk. Even more perfect. Trixie is a little sensitive foal. This will make things go much smoother, she said, not letting her analytic eyes leave the situation in a huff. By the way, speaking of Greg DeLise doing a voice, according to the cast list, if it's right, Greg DeLise gets to voice Delilah Briarwood on Legend of Fox Machina. This is so cool!
Why don't you just zap the ponies and make them hate her?
Asked Spot, scratching his head.
Yeah, like you did us!
Asked Follow, equally confused. Because, and I don't expect you three to understand the finer points of mind magic. A what-it-needs spell makes a person fall in love with something. It's far easier to make some pony fall in love with something they don't care one way or another than to make them hate something they care about, said Checker, like talking to somebody more about a hobby than brainwashing. I don't understand it myself.
I just know making some pony hate some pony takes a lot more effort. Speaking of which, she said, looking at Rainbow Dash, was struggling to keep awake, grumbling under her breath. With any luck, I've crafted exactly that. Just like a sociopath, people. Doesn't understand basic human emotions.
You built this place by yourselves?
Asked Trixie, staring up in awe at the Cutie Mark Crusaders' clubhouse as they walked to it. Merely Apple Bloom, said Skulu, smirking to her friend.
It was already a hire. Sisters gave it to us,
said Apple Bloom.
The link guy was kinda
condemned, asked Skulu finished.
Trixie raced about. That plane. Yeah, the link is so good as new. Now, this is where we plan how we get our key marks,
announced Lee Bell.
Trixie sees.
Trixie replied, looking at the wall, seeing a poster labeled "List of things we tried to get our cutie marks" hanging. Hang gliding, diving, dancing, baseball, tennis, mountain climbing ninjas. She read to herself.
My, you certainly have tried a lot of things,
she said. Just saw another poster reading "List of places we've been banned for trying to get our cutie marks." It was unnervingly long.
So, what's on the agenda today?
Well, we were going to try using this flux capacitor for Doctor Who's scrap pile, said Apple Bloom. But he sold us that Wonderbolt with Ray's crazy white hair.
Then we tried asking about it. He said, no, not again for some reason,
continued Skulu. Was this weird? Because we've never tried time travel before, finished Skulu.
Maybe we already went back in town and he stopped us for doing it again?
Asked Apple Bloom.
But wouldn't that mean he wouldn't need to stop us? So he wouldn't stop us. Then we do it anyway, and he had to try to stop us?
Said Lee Bell.
But he had no reason to stop us in the first place.
Skulu cringed, held her head. Ow! Stop! You're making my head hurt! If you guys want a quick explanation on why you shouldn't have to worry about this type of thing, or about this analogy, it's a closed time loop. For more on it, watch the Birdman's Everything Wrong with CinemaSins Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Trust me, it's got everything you need. Trixie just raised an eyebrow.
Wait, so what do we do now?
Well, we could read comic books, or we could try being Cutie Mark Crusader surfers, says Skulu, thinking it out. But you've already got your Cutie Mark, so it wouldn't really work out that well.
Here's an idea,
said Sleepy excitedly. What?
Trixie, maybe you can tell us how you got your Cutie Mark,
suggested the white unicorn filly. Trixie blinked.
You really want to know how Trixie got her Cutie Mark?
She asked.
No one has ever asked. Question you,
said Sleepy, smiling excitedly. We love hearing about how ponies got their Cutie Marks, Skulu continued.
Well, yeah, there ain't nothing more special than how you got your Cutie Mark.
Well, except friends, but you're already our friend, said Apple Bloom. Trixie died, blushing a little being called their friend.
All right, please gather around then.
She did. The three pulling up chairs and started to watch. Trixie looked a little self-conscious, but enjoyed having the eyes on her.
All right, first, Trixie must let you know about how all this started. Why she got into magic in the first place. It started a long time ago at the Summer Sun celebration in Canterlot. Trixie's father took her there to see Celestia rise the sun. It was so breathtaking. Trixie realized at that moment Trixie wanted to make spectacles of her own. So she began studying stage magic to become a magician.
That sounds familiar, whispered Sleepy Bell, scratching her head, only for Skulu to shush her. Oh, my vocal cords are not going to forgive me after this session. Trixie used her magic to put a projected fence into view for them to help tell the story. Even though she referred to a child, that didn't change the fact she was good at this kind of thing. Trixie, as a little filly, walked the streets of Hoovington. Her father, a large, muscular, dark blue unicorn stallion with a Spartan shield as his cutie mark, walking next to her.
an older unicorn filly with darker fur colors and Trixie walking alongside them. Hey, Trixie, want to take over narrating your story here so I give my poor vocal cords a rest?
Sure, why not? One day, while walking with her family, Trixie saw a sign for a local talent show. She had been practicing magic for a long time, so she felt this was a perfect way to finally show it off. Trixie looked up, seeing a poster on the door of a theater announcing the Huffington Junior Talent Show.
Daddy, can I try?
She asked, excited as she could be, but doing her best to hide it and carry herself with a professional-like air. Her father looked over at the poster, not changing his chiseled visage one bit. He gave a barely noticeable smile, if any at all. A good way to prove yourself in the world and become somebody in town. I approve. Trixie gave an excited cry, then noticed a disappointing look from her father. She cleared her throat back to her father.
Thank you, Daddy,
she said, trotting to the store, signing up immediately. She looked back, she saw her sister glaring daggers at her for one moment, but the older filly looked away the moment she noticed Trixie was watching her.
Trixie began training immediately. It wasn't an easy task after a while. She had no formal training, and mostly just used simple spells she learned from books.
Trixie growled.
None of these spells are good enough. I can't enter a talent show unless what I'm going to do is good.
She exclaimed, batting a book off the table, looking depressed. Trixie didn't take that too well, so she tried looking to other places for inspiration. Trixie climbed up a shelf, trying to grab another book from the top shelf. She had to balance several books on one shelf to climb up to the one she wanted. For a brief moment, the one she was about to get on glowed violet and moved another few inches. The moment she stepped on, she lost her balance with her book. Flailing, she grabbed a book from the bookcase as she fell to the ground below in an attempt to catch herself. Trixie's sister walked up to her. Bum, 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 bum! My little sister. You certainly are clumsy, aren't you? You best be careful. We wouldn't want you getting hurt and missing the opportunity of impressing Father, would we? She asked before trying off. Trixie groaned, getting up and looking down at the book she grabbed. As it opened up to a passage on Canterlot. She slipped through the book and found an entry on the founding of a little town near it. As she read, she got a big smile. It turns out the book had a history lesson that Trixie was especially inspired by. Trixie learned some zero magic from one who lived in our neighborhood. You would become her magic teacher from later on. Trixie gulped, wanting her name to be called so she could do her right. She was singing her horseshoes, wearing a homemade version of her hat and cape. Trixie's sister walked up to her. Well, Trixie, looks like the big night is here. There has to be 100 ponies out there, and all eyes will be on you. Must be a riveting feeling, huh? Trixie sulked, gave a gulp, and her eyes and pupils became prickly.
Where's the 100?
She asked in her frightened, nervous voice. Yes, and Daddy will be right there on the front row, her sister stated, giving a cold smile. It'd be horrible if you choked in front of all those ponies. Especially Father, wouldn't it? Oh well, I'm sure you'll do fine. Break a leg, Trixie, she said, muttering something under her breath as she walked off. All in all, Trixie thinks she handled the stress well. Trixie was curled up, trembling in a fetal position in the corner as contestants were called and did their acts. But having a little guidance didn't hurt. What, Trixie? What's wrong, sweetie? Asked a caring, kind voice. Trixie didn't have to look to recognize it.
I'm scared, Grandma,
she muttered, not moving from her position. Trixie's grandmother, Helena Midsummer, pulled her up gently and sat down next to her. Oh, Grandma, why are you scared? Trixie didn't stop trembling.
There's so many ponies out there. They're all gonna be watching me.
I don't want to mess up in front of them, in front of Daddy.
Leah put a hoof on her back. Dear, there's nothing to worry about. You show me your act. You're going to do fine. Trixie started crying.
Well, what if I don't? I don't want to disappoint Daddy.
She exclaimed, looking terrified. Leah thought, then gave a smile. I got just the thing. She said she calmly took out a blue crystal from her saddlebags. Here, she said, putting out Trixie's cape to replace the pin holding the two sides together. It's special. I was going to give it for your birthday, but now seems a better time. Trixie blinked to look down on.
How quite them all.
It's a good luck charm. My mama gave it to me when I was just a filly. I can't promise you'll come in first, but I can't promise you can't mess up when you're wearing this. Trixie's eyes sparkled as she looked at the little stone. Now to her grandmother.
Really?
Really, said Helena, nestling her granddaughter. Don't tell your papa I gave it to you. You know how she gets. We know it's a gift, not me pitying you, but he doesn't. Trixie, is there a great and powerful Trixie here? Asked the mayor overseeing the contest. It seems a lot of the R's are repeated, and it seems like some of the consonants are stretched out. You're up, said Helena, getting a hug from her granddaughter. Break a leg, alright? Trixie nodded, trying up to the mayor. Trixie is right here, she said, clearing her throat. Trixie had been referring to herself in the third person, had a more regal and impressive air to it. So she chose to use it in her act.
Sounds cool,
Typed in Sleebell. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Trixie gave one last look back at Helena, who waved her on before taking to her seat. Trixie gulped and took to the stage, seeing all the ponies watching her. She saw her sister and father in the front row. Her sister's mouth better not choke. Trixie gulped. It took all her will to wet herself right then and there. Yes, Trixie had stage fright. Trixie knows the irony. But remember, Trixie was a filly at the time. It takes time to develop a stage presence such as hers. As she looked down at the jewel her grandmother had given her, steadying herself. Looking up at the crowd, seeing Helena setting around the row in front of her, giving her a smile. Trixie took a deep breath and regained her composure. Gather around and behold the amazing magic of the great and powerful Trixie! The little blue filly announced. Not as much volume and confidence as he did, no, but decently. She set up different fireworks and explosives around her. She made the fireworks dance and take on different shapes, though they weren't fancy or well-refined, but fairly good. After Trixie dazzled the crowd with her amazing feats of pyrotechnics, they decided to move on to the grand finale. Trixie reached into a pouch hidden in a cape and produced some green powder, but hid her hoof from the audience. Trixie learned from the zebra. She shook slightly, but looked at her grandmother's jewel and steadied herself again. Now, what is the great and powerful Trixie demonstrates how to fend off a ferocious, spinning its radiant power, causing it to transform into an imperfect but passable illusion of a vicious wolf made out of wood. Timberwolf!
Wait a minute, whatever with that whole Earth Major business you were going on about here?
Asked Apple Bloom. That didn't come until later on. Trixie started with Timberwolves and did a better job of research back then. As Trixie was saying. Trixie made her illusionary beast snarl and approached the edge of the stage, frightening many of the spectator. Beast! Leave those bystanders be! Your fate is with the great and powerful Trixie! The illusion snarled in fury, spinning around charging at the young filly. Trixie stood her ground and waited. Finally, when it got close, Trixie's horn lit up. A rich cloud formed over her head. As it lifted her, the clouds went off a roar of thunder as she leaped out of the way. The wolf illusion howled in pain once. Again, as the thunder sounded again, standing off running where it finally finished. Trixie turned to the crowd and spoke about as they applied. A light flashed at her flank, and her cutie mark came into being.
That's how Trixie got her cutie mark,
said Trixie, giving a smile.
though still looking somewhat nervous.
The story of how Ponyville was founded by the Sad Babbles and the Campbell Wolves actually inspired Trixie's act. The book was on equestrian history, specifically the area around Canterlot. That was actually one of the reasons Jake visited Ponyville in the first place.
Kmart Crusaders were looking at her with jaw-dropping surprise. Trixie looked nervous and visited a little.
Was it something Trixie said?